Hi everyone, thanks for visiting my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Carol, the Thrifty Chic Housewife. If you find that you enjoy the content here, please consider subscribing, like and share my videos, and follow me on social media. I'll leave all the information for you in the description box below. So today we are going to be making a delicious Chipotle Black Bean party dip. Last time in the last video I made, I shared with you how to can up your own Chipotle black beans, and we're going to be using those today to make this delicious dip. Now, if you're not a canner or you haven't had time to can up your Chipotle black beans, no worries, because you can still use just even a commercial can of plain black beans, and I will leave in the description box some of the seasonings that you would need to add to them to make them taste like the Chipotle black beans that I'm going to be using today. So I'm going to be using 2 pint jars of my beans. If you are an empty nester or you don't want a lot of leftovers, you can just cut the recipe in half and you can still make it. Like I said, just cut the recipe in half and then you won't have as much. But if you're making it for a party or for a family, you're going to want the 2 pint jars of beans. It's really simple to do and really delicious. If you watched my video on making refried beans, I'm using a similar technique here, but we're going to be finishing it off in the oven. So if you watched the refried bean video, you'll be familiar with what I'm going to be doing here. So I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer and we're going to get started. Okay, here we go. So I have my pan on about a medium heat, and what we want to do is we want to add about a tablespoon or so of olive oil. If you don't want to use olive oil, bacon fat is really good in this, or any oil that you enjoy. Avocado oil would be great. And to that, we are going to add 2 cloves of chopped garlic. And we're just going to we're just going to saute the garlic for just a minute or so until it starts to smell fragrant. You just want to make sure you don't want your garlic to burn. And then we're going to add both cans or pint jars of our black beans. Now, you want to drain off most of the liquid. You want to leave a little bit, but you want to drain most of it off unless you want a really loose dip. I like mine to be a little bit thicker, so I drain a lot of mine off. So we're just going to add our black beans and we're going to give that a stir. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a potato masher and we're going to mash up some of the beans. You don't want to mash all of them, but you do want to mash up some of them. And this is really up to you, what kind of texture you want. But I would recommend leaving some of them whole, so just mash them up a little bit. And then we're going to give that a stir. And see how you're liking the texture. If you want them mashed up a little bit more, you could go ahead and mash them a little bit more. I think I want a few more of mine mashed. And we're just going to stir that again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add about a teaspoon or so of fresh lime juice just for some freshness. We did have lime juice. We did use lime juice in our beans, but we want to add a little freshness here. And then I'm going to add about a tablespoon of my homemade salsa. You can use whatever salsa you like, but we're just going to add a little more flavor here. And then we're going to bring all of this up to a simmer. Once it starts bubbling, we're going to add some cheese and then we're going to pop it in the oven. Okay, once your dip is starting to get nice and bubbly and everything's heated through, what we're going to do now is we're going to add some cheese. I have 2 cups of a combination of pepper jack, some sharp cheddar, and then some quesadilla cheese. You can use whatever cheeses you like, but you want a nice melty cheese. Monterey Jack is nice. Any kind of cheddar cheese, whatever kind of cheese, like I said, you would enjoy that would melt well is great in here. Mexican, obviously a Mexican blend cheese would be fantastic. So whatever you like, you're going to need about 2 cups. We're going to take just a handful of it and I'm going to sprinkle it on, and then I'm going to stir that into my dip. I'm going to turn off my heat and I'm going to take the rest of it and I'm going to sprinkle it all across my dip. All across my beans. I want it to be nice and cheesy. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pan and I'm going to put it in a 400-degree preheated oven, and we're going to bake it off until the cheese is really melty, ooey gooey, and a little bit browned on top. Okay guys, how easy was that? Super simple. And then once mine came out, I went ahead and I added some fresh tomato and some fresh cilantro on top to make it pretty and to add a little extra flavor. But you could totally add some chopped avocado, chopped black olives, some sour cream. The toppings are endless, so use whatever appeals to you. And then of course you need some delicious tortilla chips to dip it in. And so let's give it a try and see how we did. The other thing that works really well are the Frito scoops, are perfect for this. But I'm going to use tortilla chips today. It's a party in your mouth. You have the delicious freshness from the lime and the cilantro. Just a tiny bit of heat from your chipotle pepper that was in there and from the salsa. And then at the end you have that delicious melty ooey gooey cheese. It's just great. Perfect for a party of 1, 2, 3 or more. So I hope you'll give it a try. Also, I wanted to mention that you could always add more cheese if you want more cheese. You don't have to stick to just the 2 cups. If you are a canner, can up some of these delicious Chipotle black beans, and then you can have this delicious dip ready in about 15 minutes. Perfect for having on your shelf for last minute get-togethers. So I hope you'll give it a try. Like I said, it's great for lots of other things, fillings for tacos, burritos, enchiladas, all that stuff. Any Mexican dish, these would be perfect for. So I hope you'll give them a try. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I hope you stay safe and well, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.